What is up? It is bright and sunny out. I even got this window open somewhat. And the one behind me is actually open too. Because it's 59 degrees out already at 8:15 in the morning. Woohoo! It's supposed to be a beautiful day. So, I'm just doing this for an hour because I just put laundry in. And I got to take the laundry out and put it on the line and then do another load of laundry. And, you know how that goes. So, yeah, laundry day. But, printer's going to start printing, hopefully. I've done nothing to this printer in a couple of days, so I might need to straighten out the gantry again. Because this thing has a habit of the gantry on the left side sagging when I turn the power off. Because both motors are on this side, and that drops it. What's up, Jimmy? What's up, Mr. Buttram? How you feeling, Jimmy? Feeling better, I hope? Getting stronger, healthier, happier, not dying on us? Or is this just the ghost of Jimmy? And I'm thinking of getting healthier and happier. I'm going to be outside working because I've had a couple trees fall down in the last couple of days. So I will be out cutting trees up today. One's a tree, but it's a big little tree, and the other one's a big branch. But, yeah, need my Tylenol. So, anyways, windows are open, sun's up. My glasses are all crooked in my hat. Yeah, I don't even need them in my hat. My hat's all crooked. There we go. Much better. Yep, and I'm going to be dark, and I don't care because I ain't going to turn any more lights on when I got plenty of sunlight and deal with it. Because I just don't care. The sun is shining. My mom made me a really cool mask. Here, I'll show you. And I hit the mic with the chair, didn't I? So, I've been using the regular hospital masks. I have a couple of them, and I just reuse them. I leave them in the car because even if I'm reusing it, it sits in the car for a couple of days before I go out again, at least a couple of days. But she made me this one. It's got like deer. It's in the woods. So it's pretty cool. And it's got filter cloth in there because, of course, my mother has filter cloth laying around. That's actually supposed to be filter cloth. I don't know what the hell filter cloth is, but whatever. She went on and did some research and studied, and this is the design that they recommend at the, I don't know, CDC, or actually I think she went to the medical school of wherever. And she's been sewing like a mad lady for the last 2 weeks and handing them out, mostly out back, because my neighbor's a nurse in a rest home, and she's been passing them out there for people, and people have been calling and having them made, and I've been mailing them out, and it's a nightmare. But, hey, it is what it is. So get over it. Right. So what are you guys all up to? Are you working at all anymore, Mr. Buttram? I can't imagine you're considered an essential employee, unfortunately. Yeah, but are you actually working? Is there any audio, video to be done? I guess. Audio for podiums for people standing out there spitting bullcrap. Benefits of being a computer program. Yeah, I thought you were an audio video. Yeah, you do computer program. I get what you. I have a general clue on what you actually do. I am printing robot arms, little ones, to go with a Wise Cam. Because my brother saw that. I sent it to him as a joke. And he does want his Wise Cams back. He actually bought my Wise Cams. And he's like, if you're not using them, if you're using them, keep them. And he's like, if you're not using them, next time you mail me stuff, just throw them in there because I'll use them to chase the rabbits. So he watches the rabbits and the fox and the deer and stuff in his yard with it. So now he wants to put up a couple, 3 of them to track where they're going across his yard just because. I mean, it's not for any reason. He just likes doing it, which is cool. And they're his cams. I mean, he paid for them. I'm not using them anymore. My father's not here, so I don't have to track dad anymore. So he might as well have the cameras back. What is up, Gene? Oh, cool. Well, that's better than sitting around doing nothing like pretty much I am. Holy crap. Wait a minute. Is it me or it's 3D printing Jimmy there actually have 2 words not in capital? He must have just copied and pasted. He couldn't have typed that. It would be all in capitals. Yeah, funny. Anyway, well, that's cool. That's funny. Oh, crap. So, yeah, it's like gorgeous out here. I don't know what it's like where you guys all are. We're supposed to get really crappy weather starting late night tonight. I got Wawa coffee today. Why would you watch a fusion stream? I'm lost here. So what did I miss? I missed something, but sure. So anyway, I am printing little robot arms for the little robot, and it's nothing. It's basically just a stand that looks like a robot. It looks like Five Alive kind of guy there. What's his name? I mean, it doesn't really, but it's kind of a mix of that. It's 59 here right now, which is nice. And there's really almost no breeze, which is really nice. Because I could actually do leaves if I wanted, which I won't be able to do leaves. Hey, DK or DJKA1604 on Twitch. He's on Twitch, so all you YouTube people won't see him. Yeah, so printing away, little robot arms. It's gorgeous out. Could blow leaves if I wanted, but not gonna because I got way too much other stuff. Do I have a completed project? Well, there's that, and there's that. Those are basically completed projects. The hell was that? Oh, that was just, I don't have the filament running up to the filament feeder. Oh, well. It'll be just fine for those 2 little robot-y arms. What can't you see on the screen? The printer back there? There's a printer back there. And there's a printer right here running. They're both mine. I am sucking up leaves. Well, blow leaves, suck up leaves. You got to blow them out to where you can suck them up. It's in the woods. Anyway, yeah. That leaf sucker works awesome too. I can't believe he just got rid of that, especially with his yard. He's got a big, not big yard, but it's like an acre and a half. And it's all nice kind of lawn with a few trees in it, so it's not great lawn, if that makes sense. There's big oak trees in it, random out, but they pretty much shade the whole lawn. And it's a hill, and the thing's self-powered. So I can't imagine him not wanting that. He could literally mow his lawn with it, but sucking up leaves, if that makes sense. It's about the same size as the lawnmower, and the leaves would fall, and you just walk back and forth like you're mowing the lawn, but you're sucking up and grinding up the leaves. Into a rider. Yeah, I wish. Yeah, so. There's that. And the printer's printing away. So I got to send the Wise Cam off to my brother. And I'm going back and forth because I'm reading and thinking about other things. And my brain is just scrambled this morning. Yeah, a little robot-y thing I'm going to send to my brother with the Wise Cams. Hopefully today. Maybe tomorrow. I might not get to the post office today because I got too much stuff around here to do first. Like laundry and chop up trees that fell down. There's a big old tree. I heard something the other day, and I'm like, what the hell is that? Looked around, didn't see it. It's like right at the corner of the house where I don't see it because the window doesn't cover it, and I don't see it from downstairs. And went out this morning and looked around and was just walking around because it's nice with my coffee. And yeah, there's a big old tree down on the edge of the property. So I got to cut it up. So there's that. Anybody want to jump in here? Probably not. How much time do I got left? I can only do this for like a half an hour. Glad you think I'm boring. I am boring. Everybody knows that. The dude on Twitch, for all you YouTubers, calling me a boring as fuck. Yeah. And what's new with that? I'm guessing he's a minor troll. Actually, I don't know. He hasn't really been too trolly. But that's life. Anyway, so it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I'm probably going to go out and play in the yard once the first load of laundry's done. I had to have some coffee. I might have to have another cup of coffee. I want to get coffee cups made, but just don't have the money. Yeah. Copy. Paste. So there we go. So I was hoping by now I'd have the parts to start building the hodgepodge printer, but I may just start doing it anyways and just go with what I have.
Good morning.
We got no video there, Jimmy.
It's pointed at my ceiling.
What's up?
Can you hear me?
The kid from Twitch just tried to jump in.
Are you hearing me?
I can hear you. You can't see anything but a purple screen. It's all purple or blue. Hey, there's like a thumb or something. Oh, there's some darkness. Yeah, dude, Corona, I don't know who you are, so you're not getting in here.
Oh. Yeah, you need to turn that leaf sucker into a rider.
Yeah, that would be not happening. That wouldn't even work.
It would save your knees.
Huh?
It would save your knees.
Yeah, but not really. I'm literally using it in the woods. It wouldn't work. Half the time I literally have to pick it up and go over a stump or some logs, or it would not work. This is not flat land I live on. It's a big freaking dugout sand pit / swamp area / cluster. Fuck. I've been cleaning it for 30, 40 years now.
Well, it looks like Florida's getting better. They're opening up the parks and the beaches. And
yeah, it's not though. I don't know why they're opening it up. They've had, for the last 4 days, they've had the highest increase yet in cases.
Florida?
In Florida.
Huh.
Florida, 2 of the 4 that are opening today or tomorrow or yesterday or whatever have had the largest increases in cases in the last week.
Huh.
Increases in positive.
Well,
they're opening up. It's just like, are you dumb or what? And I get it. I mean, I'm I would probably be much worse off if, I didn't have all this property to work on and go outside and play out in the yard. And if I was living in a city or, down like you in Florida where you really don't even, what do you have for a yard? A half an acre? 3/4 of an acre?
Not even.
Yeah. That would drive me freaking nuts. You can't go outside and just sit in your yard, though, right? You actually have a yard.
Yeah, I got printers and fusion and projects to work on. Keeps me out of trouble.
Yeah, I'm an outdoor person, though. I can't. It's been crappy weather for the last 3 days, and I'm just, itching to get outside. I'm an outdoors kind of person. I got to be outside.
Yeah, getting out in the springtime in Connecticut is essential after that crappy winter weather.
Yeah. In all reality, I own, my mother owns. It is mine, I guess, now. I got to talk to my brother about that. My father passed, it actually converts to me. I don't know yet. We only got 1 acre and 1/3. The rest of it's all my neighbors, but it used to be ours. We sold them the whole thing, and they're 4-generation family friends. The property has gone back and forth between the 2 families 4 times in the last 100 years. Just whoever's got more family living on the property gets the property kind of deal. And I just take care of it all because they don't care and they know I've been doing it, and they're like, "You want to do it? Do it." They give every once in a while. She gives me some gas money for it. It's like, all it's doing is increasing her property value.
Yeah, well, it makes the whole neighborhood look better.
Yeah, it looks better out my window. She keeps going, "Why are you doing that area, not this area?" I'm like, it's out my window. It's what I I don't give a crap about the crap I can't see.
Yeah,
She started laughing. Are you serious? I'm like, yeah, I'm dead freaking serious. I do what I see out my window first. I'll end up doing the whole thing, but I do it out my window first. That's what I see.
Yeah, that's a nice view of the woods you got there.
Yeah, it's not. It would have been nicer if they never built that freaking crap box house, but there's a house right literally out this window now that never used to be there. It went up, about 10, 15 years ago it went in.
Yeah, that's progress.
Yeah. Well, when I was a kid, there's there's a whole road on the other side of the swamp that wasn't there. And there's another road on top of the ridge. There's another cliff/ridge. I can see it over there, but it's half a mile away. That there was no houses on. We used to go out there and just play in the woods when I was a kid and just roam. There was, probably 150 acres over there that was just completely undeveloped that you could just, me and all the people around, all the kids around here, we used to go in there and camp and hang out. And now it's all houses. All the ones on top of the hill are like multi-million-dollar pieces of crap. I just don't get why anyone wants that big of a house. There's people up there like single guys and, a wife and a husband with these humongous, these things are 6, 7, 8,000 square foot homes. They're huge with one or two people living in them.
Yeah,
Like, why do you want that much space? You got to keep it up. I'd rather have 20 acres and a little ranch and have the property and not have to worry about cleaning the house. I'd rather have like I sort of have here. I got a bigger garage than I do the house.
Well, that's the way it should be. Everybody needs a garage bigger than the house.
Yeah, my garage is way bigger. I had to get all kinds of permits and all kinds of papers, and it was funny when we sold the property to my neighbor, the Emersons out back. I built the garage at the same time, or approximately the same time. And one of the deals was he got all the property. He originally was only going to buy 3 acres to build the house on, and then we'd keep all the stuff. And we were like, you've got the backhoes, because he did construction. He's like, you got the backhoes, you got the equipment, you can take care of the driveway because it's a half a mile long driveway. It's like you can take care of the property, you have all the equipment. We'll give you the whole thing, but you got to sign the variance for the garage. He's like, what do you mean? I said, for one, anybody that's my neighbor within so many whatever feet has to sign off on it because it's going to be bigger than the house. The house is, 30 by 20. And the garage is 40 by 40 or 40 by 32, right? 40 by, I don't know. It's way bigger and it's taller and it's just a bigger garage, which is unacceptable in this area without everyone signing off on it. Plus, it's too close to his property line.
Old curmudgeon. That's a Buell, one of my Cruzas that I turned into a bear. Sorry, my camera's not very good. Good morning, Sergio.
Well, that's just it. I'm not going to get all into it, but they keep bragging about how great they are and how great everything is. And we have the largest numbers in this country, and they haven't even tested, I guess, half the freaking population.
Not even close to half.
It's just, they did not do a great job on controlling it here in the States. I'm sorry. They just didn't. And they started to, and now they're going to, this whole stay home. And it's reasonable. I know there's places that are worse than here, but we're basically around here, just stay home. Go to the store if you need. You can go and do stuff. Just, do it by yourself. Don't bring your whole family. All our parks and beaches are open here, but there's rangers on the beaches, and because the beaches all around here are all state-owned or private-owned. And, social distancing, only hang out with your family. If someone else is on the beach in front of you, let them walk in front of you before you go on there kind of thing. And it's just common sense. And then you get these morons that just ignore it all. Like, oh, we're better than it. It's like the virus doesn't care about your religion, your creed, your race. It just doesn't care. Just use your head.
Well, don't run around kissing strangers.
Well, it's like, they're like, oh, you're the government's imposing on our freedom. No. Here's my take on it. The government right now, in general, and that's both of them. Even the ones I don't like, are generally taking the lead from, doctors, medical professionals. And the medical professionals are saying, stay at home, don't open the states up quite yet, if you do some stuff, make sure everyone's following the, common sense guidelines, stay away from people, blah, blah, blah. And these people are going out going, oh, they're trying to get on our rights. It's like, whether the government's trying to get on your rights or not is BS. Listen to the medical professionals. Please. They're telling you to do this. Whether you like it or not, do what they ask.
Good morning, Dan. How's them kitties doing?
Just don't get some people that are so bent on political BS and ignore the reality of life. Anyway, enough of that. No
It's
more
not that bad in this part of
coronavirus
Florida.
BS.
I spent 3 days in the hospital last week, Thursday.
Yeah, but you don't have corona or nothing, right? It's just you being you.
But they had 2 floors of the hospital shut down, closed up.
Yeah. Oh, when my father, just before he passed, it was a nightmare going to visit him. I got to visit him once the whole time I was there. He was there.
I
He was there almost a month, and I got to visit him once.
I couldn't have any visitors.
Well, it's worse now. He did it right when they started closing everything down. And actually, he was in hospice. The hospital has a whole wing for just hospice. So I had to enter that wing. I couldn't even go in the main door. And they take your temperature and they ask you, the 100 questions. Have you left the country? Have you left the state? How far do you travel? Do you have a temperature? They take your temperature like 3 times the whole time I was there. They kept taking my temperature. Anytime one of the nurses would walk into the room with my father, if we're in there, they take your temperature.
Yeah.
Had to wear a mask, this, that, the other thing. And that was just in the hospice wing. That's not even in the main hospital. And it was so bizarre walking through there because it was like, it's weird. I didn't realize the hospital had like the motion sensor lighting. And the hospital was dark, and it was like a horror movie as you're walking down the hallway. The lights are kicking off behind you and kicking on in front of you. It was freaking creepy.
Doing good, Dan. When are you going to get some time? We'll do a fusion stream together. I can answer your questions and show you tips and stuff.
We should do that. You got to get a decent camera and mic and all that if you're going to do that, though.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Just get the same thing I got here. What is it? Logitech 920, 921, whatever the new one is. I don't even know what the hell that thing is.
I think the wife's going to Walmart today. I may go with her.
Oh, no, not Walmart.
Good morning, Joe.
We were kind of banning Walmart around here. Walmart's in big trouble in this county.
At least
80% of all the cases in this county of Connecticut, New London County, 80% of them can all be traced back to Walmart. 30% of them are Walmart employees. Walmart didn't let anyone know that the employees were sick. So the state's actually walking in and kind of taking over the local Walmart.
Well, at least Walmart had meat here yesterday. I picked up some hamburger.
Yeah, we haven't had problems with meat. The only thing I noticed yesterday is Mom asked for some pork chops. Because, she gets the stupid flyer, and she's one of those that buys out of the flyer because I go in and I buy what I want and only what I want. She looks through the flyer and decides what she wants by the flyer, and it's like, just stop. But anyway, pork chops are the only thing we're lacking around here. Beef was there. It was expensive. I mean, I got a couple of small steaks, and they were like $13. But hamburger was way up, like $4 or $5 a pound, even for the crap. I didn't even buy any hamburger. The steaks were actually cheaper per pound than the hamburger, which is why I bought the steaks. Which is really unusual. So because the hamburger gets turned over faster than the steak, so I have a feeling the steaks were the last load. The other thing I noticed is you don't go shopping on Monday. I've gone shopping a couple times on Mondays. No more. It's always Tuesday or Wednesday now. Monday, the place is cleaned out. There's nothing in the store over the weekend because everyone goes on the weekend and buys everything, and there's no deliveries over the weekend, so the store gets emptied out. And I've gone on Monday. Last week, I went on Monday, and the place was like dead empty. Forgot 2 things, plus I had to go to the pharmacy. So all right, I'll go back on Tuesday. Tuesday, the place was packed. Everything was back, within reason. There was even rice. You can get rice now in our little, it's a little country grocery store down the street. So
I got a Walmart neighborhood market close by, and they were well stocked. They had pretty much everything.
Yeah, there's a few things here. We had a real hard time getting half and half in milk for a while. That seems to be back. There was some there when I went the other time. There was no butter. I had to buy some kind of like $7 a pound Irish butter just to get a pound of butter. Which is okay. I know what the Irish butter is because I used to work at a French restaurant. We used to use Irish and French butters. And oh my God, are they so much better. But not worth, 2-3 times the price.
Yeah. Well, the governor here is supposed to be announcing how we're going to get back opening stuff up today.
Yeah, flour short.
Stay-at-home order expires tomorrow. So hopefully things will start coming back.
Yeah, they're probably coming back. It's just it's too early.
Good morning, Mike.
At least another week.
It's real tough down here because we're so much service industry.
Yeah.
I
get it. I do get it.
It really devastated a lot of the workforce.
Yeah, we have that too, because we have, especially right here along the shore. Sure.
I'd just be happy to get restaurants open again. I want to go in and have a nice sit-down meal.
Yeah, see, that doesn't. I'm not a big go out and eat person.
Well, the restaurants around here, they do some real deals, especially in the summertime.
Yeah, because that's your off season. You guys got screwed because, January, February, March is like key season down there. That's when all the people from up here go down there.
This is about the end of season down here.
Yeah. YouTube, you are live now. No, really? I didn't notice. I guess some people do need to be told because they're idiots.
I'm lucky with the shopping around here. On my mobility scooter, I can hit Lowe's, Publix supermarket, Walmart neighborhood, got a super Target, and that's all within 5 minutes of home.
My neighbor's making stuffed shells. Stuffed shells. She always makes us some too because I like her stuffed shells. She does something with the cheeses and adds herbs and crap to them, makes them yummy. Stuffed shells are pretty easy. It's a bunch of cheese in a freaking shell. But I don't know what she adds to it. Never really asked. I just know they're tasty. So she's going to send us up some. Oh, crap. I got to put the soup in the refrigerator. I made chicken barley soup yesterday. Yum.
That sounds good.
It is good. And I'm one of those. See, that's the other thing. Like restaurants don't really, for one, I don't like the noise. I have like a hearing thing. I get into loud situations and my head just starts ringing. So I really don't like restaurants and bars. I very seldom go to a bar anymore unless it's like at lunchtime, so it's kind of quiet. I don't go at night when they're playing music loud and crap. But I always worked in restaurants. My whole life, I pretty much always either did it part-time on weekends and nights or full-time. I did it full-time for almost 12 years. And I just, like when I cook, I make the soup. Everyone's like, oh, you go buy chicken base and, chicken broth. And I was like, no. I make chicken broth. I buy a chicken. I cook the chicken. I gut the chicken. I take the carcass. I boil the carcass with vegetables and make broth. drain it out, take the chicken, make the soup.
That's
A lot of times I'll make pasta or whatever. If I'm going to do like chicken noodle soup, I'll make my own noodles, take flour, eggs, make noodles. I got a noodle press.
That's the good stuff. It's not all full of sodium.
No, my mother bitches constantly because I put very little, if any, salt. I almost put no salt in it.
You're better off without too much salt. I usually go to the restaurants when they first open around here. I get them at 11 o'clock in the morning, so it's very quiet usually. I got a places to eat here. We got Pollo Tropical, we got Chili's, we got Five Guys Burgers, Olive Garden, Panera Bread. There's a ton of them. All with Outback Steakhouse, all within 5 minutes of the house.
Yeah, I know. I lived in Florida for a couple of years. I lived in Miami for almost 3 years. And then I used to go down every year. I used to stay in Fort Lauderdale and then go down to the Keys every year because a friend of mine, she used to buy up properties and rent them. But she wouldn't do the seasonal crap. She did year-round, leases for people. And when she set it up, so they were all like within a couple of months span of when they would do a turnover. So when they would turn over, it was always like after Christmas. And that's when I would be out of work doing construction most of the time. She'd ship me down there, pay me, not very much, but I basically lived. She'd rent me a truck, she'd feed me. And plus, I had a place to live. I'd stay in the house I was remodeling, and I'd remodel all these apartments and just bounce from apartment to apartment, painting it, fixing a door handle that was broken or cabinets or, and I just stayed down there for like 6 to 8 weeks from Christmas until March.
Good morning, Viking. How you doing?
How's up, Viking? Doing? I got to freaking go change my laundry. It's been 40 minutes. Gotta go put the laundry on the line.
You're going to start another load?
Yeah.
I'll keep people entertained while you're gone.
I got to go hang it out online. It's going to be like 10 or 15 minutes. You want to jump in, Viking?
Yeah. Somebody will come in.
Hang out with Jimmy. And now we're going to throw another load on. Father Beamer. If you guys have not watched The Last Kingdom, you need to go see The Last Kingdom. If you have Netflix, watch The Last Kingdom. There's like a dozen Viking dudes that look like Tom. They're real, not real, but supposedly real Vikings invading England. That's what the show's all about, and it's really good. It's an old BBC show that Netflix took over. I shouldn't say old. It was started in 2017, 16, I don't know. There's 4 seasons now.
Yeah, I saw the advertisements for it. It looked pretty good.
It is good. What I like about it is it's very limited, if any. I don't think there's any actual, like, computer-aided special effects. I think it's all old-fashioned. I mean, it's swords and sorcery. It's based on a real dude. I mean, it's not historic in any way, shape, or form, but Uhtred, or whatever his name is, Uhtred of Bredenberg is a real dude, supposedly. Real historical guy that helped England regroup into England instead of all the different mini countries.
Good morning, David.
From what I understand, I don't know how true it is, but I mean, it's just based very loosely on, what he did to reunite all the 4 mini countries back into England or whatever. I don't know the exact thing. Anyway, making dinner. It's breakfast time. You're in the wrong time zone, dude.
He's 6 hours ahead of us.
I know. He's future boy. Keep calling him future boy. All right, I have to go laundry out. If I don't, I won't get it done. And it's already 9 o'clock, so I have to do 2 loads. At least 2 loads. And actually, I need to take my.
Boy, am I glad to be home out of the
I
hospital.
don't know what sharp is, but
The floor.
it's a great show. I can't wait. I just binge watched the season 4 of The Last Kingdom. It is freaking awesome. It's a little slow at first. Especially this season was a little slow. And it's low. I mean, it's just kind of, I don't know. It's good. I like it. It's kind of different and yet the same. It's just, I mean, it's another swords and English, Iron Age show, but it's good.
Sergio. And Mike, yes, I am feeling better, much better. I'll go see the doctor tomorrow about midday. Hopefully they're happy with the way things are.
We're going to call it the Jimmy Show.
I'll try and keep mocking until you get back.
And I'm actually going to.
Yeah, sorry about the view, guys, but I've tried cleaning the lens and doing what I can in the computer with it. That camera just don't like it. Well, we got another nice sunny day down here. It's about 70 degrees and looking good. Of course, when I got to go out tomorrow to the doctor's office, it's supposed to be thunderstorming and raining. That figures. I got a little bit of coffee left. Hoping to get some work done on printers. Wipe the sensor. I tried cleaning the lens. Doesn't much. I think I'm going to attack my Chiron today. I'm going to clean off my work table a little bit. See if I can't get my Chiron put together. See you later, Viking. Have a good meal. So, Dan, maybe this weekend we could do streaming. Kit, that's 3D Jimmy's camera. I'm keeping you occupied while he's throwing another load of laundry in. Sorry, my camera's not very good. It could be. I could try dunking the camera in alcohol. Maybe that'd straighten it out. Let me see if I can tell what kind of camera it is. I should have that on the computer somewhere. Devices and printers. Oh, I need a new computer. This one's getting old. Time for a Ryzen 5 or something. LifeCam NX 3000 is what it says. Yeah, Mike, I tried some alcohol and a Q-tip on cleaning the lens, and it didn't help a bit. I'm thinking maybe I had it sitting in a window for a long, long time, and I think maybe the sun and the UV got to it. Maybe a little later today, I got another camera or two sitting around in places. I might try those, switch it out, see if I get something that's decent. going on. Oh, why it's so good to be out of the hospital. The place was, every room was full. They had 2 floors closed down, but the floor I was on, every room was full. And since they're not doing elective stuff, most everybody that was in there, it was some serious stuff. And you couldn't get any sleep in that place. The crash alarms were going off like Friday night from midnight to 3 in the morning. They had, but the food was good. I was surprised at that. The food was real good. I wasn't too worried in the hospital. I knew what was wrong. I knew what was wrong days before I got to the hospital. I have, I get stones. It's like a kidney stone, but it's in your saliva gland under your jaw, and it blocks the exit, so it backs up, and then it gets infected. I've had it before, and the damn thing, no matter which doctor I talk to or who I talk to or whatever, get the damn stone out. Go get the booger, because once you get it out, it'll drain and things will be much better. And they did anything and everything except go get that damn stone. I finally, they kept telling me to work it out on my own. I eventually got it out. I used my tongue and put a little pressure on things down there and kind of work it and got it out towards the end. And then I had to use my Swiss Army knife and pair of scissors, and I grabbed the end of it and yanked it out. And as soon as it came out, within 3 hours, things were so much better. And I just don't understand why they wouldn't go and get that damn stone out. I guess I'll ask the doctor tomorrow, see what he comes up with, my primary care guy. Oh, I love that coffee in the morning. Throwing it in the doctor's face. Well, it's not too big. It's only about 15 millimeters long and about 5 or 6 millimeters around. They knew it was there. They did a couple of CAT scans and said, yeah, you got a 4 millimeter stone in there. Yeah, tell me something I didn't know. Now go get the damn thing. But what they did do, they went in with an 18 gauge needle with no pain relief or anything. And they went through from the outside under my jaw and stuck the needle in that damn saliva gland to suck stuff out of it. 3 times they went in. Well, I've had some painful stuff in my life, but that one was a winner. The whole body would tense up. It was like a burning electric feeling. God, it was horrible. Yeah, kidney stones. I've had a kidney stone before, but those have passed. I guess I'm lucky enough to, they're small enough that I wind up getting rid of them. Yeah, all throughout the thing, I got a raging infection going on in that saliva gland. No temperature. I never run a temperature at all. Every time they took my temperature, I was like 97.3 or 97.5. I got the stone out. They wanted to take it away for a test. And I says, no way, that's my trophy. I'm taking that home. I got it sitting in a plastic bag. And I'm on this diuretic medication to keep my edema down. And I was reading that one of the side effects of that is stones, because it kind of dries you out and it leaves the calcium behind to precipitate into stones. I had one about 15 years ago. It was about half that size. That one I got out by myself without too much trouble. Only lasted a day or two. But this one was bad. I couldn't swallow. I couldn't eat, and it was really hard to get enough liquid down to even take a pill. I couldn't really talk very well at all. I'm glad that's over with. But I go to see the doctor tomorrow. Let's see what he has to say. The doctor's office is crazy. They keep asking me the same questions over and over and over again. My God, I've answered your questions 100 times and you still keep asking. Just read your damn paperwork. It's all right there. Probably going to stop at the dealership. I think that the wife's going out at lunchtime. She's got some work-related thing to do. Thursday when I go to the doctor on the way home. She's taking the afternoon off. I'm going to stop and get the oil changed on her truck. I was in there the other day. It's a Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler dealership, and they had a plum.
And we're back.
Hey, had a plum crazy purple Dodge Demon convertible. Oh man, what a nice looking car that thing was. I'd hate to see what the price is though. Welcome back, Llama.
Yeah. Freaking tree / branch. It's actually a tree, but it's like branch size because it's an old in the woods birch, I think. Probably 6-8 inches or diameter is the trunk, but freaking tall. Probably 20-30 feet piece chunk of tree I gotta cut up. I mean, it's literally just like a trunk and like 3 branches sticking off of it. Probably been dead for 5-10 years and it just happened to fall over. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was. Gotta get the old chainsaw out.
You need to put a few of them flowering dogwoods on your property. Boy, those things are pretty in the springtime.
Yeah, no. They don't last around here. The squirrels eat the flowers.
Huh.
I got a flowering tree out here that I was expecting to flower up, and you start seeing the flower like blossoms come out, and the next day it's stripped. And the squirrels that go out there and you look, I should film it. There's like 6 squirrels hanging off the thing, chewing on all the flowers.
It's a shame. Those things are pretty in the springtime. You get the white ones and the purplish ones.
Yeah. Last night, I was cooking dinner out on a grill because it was halfway decent. I saw a red fox chasing squirrels around, trying to catch him. He was hunting out in the yard.
You don't get any bears down your way, do you?
Huh?
You don't get any bears down your way, do you?
They're starting to show up. Not this far in, but there's a lot of towns in the state that are getting them. They're really not. This really wasn't bear country, period, because it's too close to the salt water. They stay more inland in the mountains. They don't come. This is called flatlands.
Up in Bloomfield, we used to get a lot of bears.
Yeah. They're starting to show up. We have a couple of moose that are in town that keep popping up every once in a while.
Huh.
There's I don't know, you were in this general area, but I don't know if you know where Whippoorwill was and all of those, where it's kind of a backwoods road through the center of town. Basically cuts right through the center of town, but it's all in the woods and the swamps and everything. and it's just recently started to develop like everything else around here.
See you later, curmudgeon.
People are spotting the moose and taking pictures of it. It's always in the swamp areas around because there's now a park there. The town didn't want it to overdevelop, so they bought up a bunch of the property themselves, made a little town park. Comes off the end of Library Lane, and they're seeing moose in there all the time.
Sounds like Mike is angling to get himself a squirrel dinner.
Squirrel dinner. Yeah, he didn't get no squirrel dinner. We had the pork chops last night. I put them on the grill, and I threw the bones out for him. He was out there chasing the squirrelies around, not getting fed, so I fed him some pork chop bones. Hope he doesn't choke on them. He ran away when I threw him out there, but then I was doing the dishes, and he came back and grabbed them. She, actually, I think it's a she. I'm pretty sure the females actually hunt more than the males do, if I remember correctly. I can't remember. Pretty fox. We've had red fox around here a lot in the past, but they've always been kind of scrangly and yucky, and now they're getting well fed because I've cleared the property. So the squirrels are actually populating, but they don't have a place to hide as well.
We got plenty of meat on the hook down here.
Squirrels and the moles. I think they eat a lot of moles. The only thing I'm chasing out are the rabbits. They used to eat a lot of the rabbits out in the fields. And my neighbor out front, there's another neighbor out front that has the field. And he owns half of it. He mows the whole thing now. We used to let it grow and let the rabbits, play in the field. He mows the whole field now. We don't care. He takes care of it. And pretty much got rid of the rabbit population out front. Because the field's not, it's a regular lawn now. It's not a field. Like it used to be. There used to be a lot of rabbits out there.
Plenty of food down here. I'm on a canal in my backyard.
Gators.
A few ponds, and there's tons of acreage of water that all connects to my backyard. All kinds of fish in there.
Gators.
I've only really seen one gator here.
Yeah, it only takes one.
He didn't stick around very long.
Where are you actually at?
Cape Coral. It's if you're a little bit south of Lake Okeechobee.
Yeah, I know the general area.
Right over to the west coast.
Yeah. More gators.
Between me and the ocean, did you ever hear of Sanibel and Captiva Islands?
I think so.
And that's about 8 miles west of me.
Anyway, gators. Don't like gators. Gators and snakes. So one thing, it was big into mountain biking, and when I used to go down and work for her down there, I used to rent a mountain bike. I wouldn't bring mine down, and she actually ended up buying one. But anyway, when I go down to the Keys, there was a couple of state parks you were allowed to mountain bike in. You get going on it, and there'd be these signs that said, caution, be cautious of other people if you're on a mountain bike. And then big yellow letters, poisonous snakes. It's like, yeah, I don't like snakes, especially poisonous ones. Most of the snakes around here, we got copperheads around here, but they're few and far between. Most of them around here are gardener snakes, and they're big. Gardener snakes survive here very well. And some of them suckers get, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12 feet long. They're freaking huge. I mean, I've seen some that were 2-3 inch in diameter in the body, and who knows how long. But they run. When they look, they're not like copperheads and rattlesnakes and all them poisonous little bastards down in Florida, whatever the hell they are. The poisonous snakes around here, I haven't heard of anyone getting bit in years.
We got pygmy rattlers down here. We got coral snakes. We got
I think that's what was down in the Keys with the coral snakes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what brand of snake it was.
We got water moccasins, and we're getting
we have water moccasins around here, but again, they've been hunted out. They're pretty much gone. There ain't too much of them left around here. My little print's almost done. I might be able to start another one.
What's your printing?
It's like a wise cam robot thing. It's
robot art.
Yeah, it's just a stand. It doesn't actually like do anything. It just looks like a little robot when you put the wise cam in it. But I think it'll be cute for because my brother's putting them out in the yard. He uses them as deer and rabbit cams. He likes to watch the deer and the rabbit and see what the hell they're doing in the yard. He originally started because him and his wife tried to grow a garden out there and the rabbits were eating it all. And now it's just got to the point where they gave up on the garden and now they just like watching the rabbits and the deer run around the yard. The other night they caught a coyote or a fox. I think it was a coyote running through their yard. It's like, oh, look, that'll lower your rabbit population right quick. That'll kick them down some.
I go out a lot of times early in the morning to run down to Wawa and get some coffee and stuff. And I see rabbits out all the time early in the morning. You got some more wise cams coming, Dan?
I'm going to keep one of them. I'm sending all my wise cams back to my brother so he can, I don't use them. But I will keep one. I got one here. There's one in the kitchen and there's one outside. The one outside I don't think works anymore. I haven't kicked it on since my father went to the hospital 5 months ago. And that's all I used them for. I used them with the motion tracker. So it sent me a thing when my father would start wandering off. They found him, wandering down the road a bunch of times, lost. So I put the wise cams up to, every time they see motion, it would send me a little email on my phone, and I'd be like, okay, that's Dad trying to get away. I'd run down there. Hey, Dad, where you going? I don't know. Maybe you should go back in the house. I'm going home. You are home, Dad. We have endangered eastern Misogina pygmy rattlesnakes around here. Yeah. I'm sorry, rattlesnakes can be endangered. I'm not real keen on them repopulating. I don't like snakes.
We get black snakes down here sometimes too. They're really a friend. They keep the population down.
Yeah, the gardener snakes, all they do is they're actually good. They keep the bugs and they eat a lot of bugs and they eat, small rodents and stuff. They keep the population down. The other thing is we had a turkey infestation, like 10 years ago. And the state freaking bred those stupid Fisher cats, the little weasels. Yeah, well, those things like took over the state right quick the minute they freaking bred them and brought them in. They brought them back in. I mean, they were here natively years and years and years ago, but we kind of killed them off because they go after everybody's chickens. Yeah, well, they're back. I find them out in the yard all the time, chasing birds. They actually go. Like, we used to have a bird feeder out on the front deck, and I'd find the frickin' thing sitting out there, curled around the post, right underneath the bird feeder. And the birds go and land, and he'd just reach up and snatch them.
Getting his food.
We stopped using the bird feeder. It's about every day you hear some bird out there screaming because he caught it.
I don't know why they want to get rid of wild turkeys.
We were overpopulated. It got to the point where there'd be, 100 of them in the road and traffic couldn't move. You literally had to run over the deer or the turkeys to go anywhere because they wouldn't leave the road. They'd sit in the road. And I'm no exaggeration. There'd be hundreds of them sitting in the road, just blocking the road.
Why didn't they just open up the hunting season and let the hunters go get them?
Because it's too populated. You can't let them hunt, in the middle of the highway. I mean, it would be on the highway. They'd block the highway. Now they still do it, but you get, 2 or 3 or a family of a half a dozen, and the traffic will slow down and they'll cross the road and that's that. That's fine. When you have a couple hundred of them or 100 of them just sitting in the road, wandering around, blocking traffic, closing the highway down for 20 minutes, a half an hour, got to do something. Check this thing out. Little arms. Little robot arms. Stay warm.
I was in Connecticut around the turn of the century. They had a lot of Canada geese problems. There was too many of them all over the place.
We still have that problem. They're annoying around here. I mean, it's only for a while, though. It's only for a couple of weeks a year. Basically, in the beginning, like right around now, they start coming back and trashing a place. They're not a problem other than they just shit everywhere.
Yeah. I used to like to watch them try to land in ponds. It looked like it's water, but it's actually ice, and they'd come swooping in. Try
to get across.
All the way across the pond they go.
Yeah, I seen that. I used to work at the state park right down the street, and right around now, the Canadian geese start coming back, and they will just fill the parking lot. And the parking lot, it's not even that the geese are there because the parking lot's big enough that just move and start parking somewhere else. But they just poop everywhere. It's just you can't even mow the lawn or anything because it's just and their poop kills it. It kills grass bad. And the dumbass who was running the park, there's a bunch of fields in the woods that we used to do when I was a kid. There's huge fields out in the middle of the woods at the Rocky Neck. Rocky Neck's a big state park / beach. And there was fields out in the middle of the woods, just huge fields, 5-6 acre fields. And that's what they were there for. It used to be a place that the geese could land because they were close enough to the water but protected. And well, the idiot who took over the park last was like, oh, it's just a waste of money taking care of that. Well, now all the geese, those fields are grown in, and all the geese are landing in the parking lots instead. Because that's the only place along the water line that they can. Okay, why did that? Need that. Why is that indented there? There's no movement or anything. Oh, that's the joiner. That's the place you plug it into the main body. Concentric supports are awesome in Idea Maker. If you're using supports in Idea Maker, turn on the concentric supports. It's way easier. They just pop right out. They're awesome. All right. I have to slice another part. I got the 2 arms. What do I want to slice now? Add. What are we going to add? I got arm, base. What does this base look like? That's pretty simple. Body 2. I have no idea. Oh, that's like the whole truck body. We have bust 2. Let's do that next. Open. I could just fill the build plate. Every one of these needs to be repaired. Repair. Okay. Oh, look, that's going to take all kinds of supports, ain't it? What if that, I could just bridge all that. Yeah, I'll let it put supports in. I don't care. Slice. 2 hours. Looks good. Export to local disk. Done. Go over to the Pi. Upload. I got used to Repetier. No, I'm using Octoprint again. It's a little confusing. And print. Decode viewer. Looks good to me. printing away. Yeah, they kill the grass too. I mean, they're not. The dumb idiot left the fields and went in there twice a year like we used to do and mow them, but he wouldn't let us do it. Oh, it's a waste of money. Getting the equipment out there. You got to drive the tractor and the lawnmower. I mean, we're not talking, a little push mower. We had big, huge farm-sized tractor with. We used to mow the fields with the multi-tier gas-powered mowers. So it's like one. They're all the same mower, but they're like 4 foot wide. But you bridge them out. You get like 15 feet of mowing space. You just have a whole bunch of mowers like stacked behind each other, pulling each other. He was like, oh, it's a waste of time and money. It's like, dude, it takes a half a day to mow one of them fields. That includes getting the equipment out to the field and everything.
It's good for the wildlife. They need open spaces like that in spots.
Yeah, I mean, it was basically they put those fields in originally, from what I understand, for the geese. So they'd stay out of the main park. The geese want to be as close to the water as they can, but if there's threatening population, like 5,000 people on the beach, they will go to a different area if they can. But it has to be within line of sight of the water. Well, we had all these fields along the streams and the rivers, and because they were all along water, so they had water right there. But no, it's a waste to mow them. And actually, some of them must have taken them over, because I did notice the side entrance was mowed the other day, and he never mowed that. The only one that ever mowed that, I'd go just sneak down there when I was working there once in a while, because that used to be where we all went mountain biking. That was our parking lot. So a couple times a year, I'd sneak down there on a slow day and just weed whack it out at least, just so we could get in there with our cars and park. And I noticed the other day I drove by going to the store, and it's like mowed proper and cleared, and which hasn't been done in 20 years.
Have a safe ride home, Dan.
Heading home from work early. It's only 9 o'clock. When the hell did you go to work? Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff that'll keep them away, but you can't really put it in a big-ass field parking lot. The state parks they're not dirt parking lots. They're all lawns around here. There's a couple. The big Hammonasset's bigger than Rocky Neck. It's an actual paved parking lot, but the parking lots at Rocky Neck they're not even dirt. They're lawn. There's a paved road that just loops through it, and the actual parking lot it's lawn.
Hammonasset's the biggest beach park in Connecticut, isn't it? Hammonasset's the biggest beach park in Connecticut, isn't it?
Yeah. Hammonasset's the biggest park in Connecticut, I believe. No. What's his name up north is bigger, way bigger, now that I think about it. But that's like a dirt road going through it. But yeah, Hammonasset's pretty huge. It's funny, though, because they keep talking about how they can't pay for themselves and everything. Rocky Neck and Hammonasset make money for the state every year because they charge for your car to park. You're not charged to go into park. If you walk in, ride your bike, you can go into park. It's free. If you bring a car in, you're charged to park your car. Now, it's $13 now. It used to be $8 for a resident. And actually, if you're a resident now, you can go for free. And it was $21 for an out-of-state. Now it's $25. Hammonasset, even though it takes 13,000 cars population, and Rocky Neck only takes 5,000, Rocky Neck actually used to make more money because Rocky Neck is right at the end of 395. It's literally you come down 395 and you take a right and you're in Rocky Neck State Park, where Hammonasset's out in the middle of the state. And Hammonasset was all 90% local people. Rocky Neck is 90% out of state. Most people come from Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont. because it's right at the end of the highway. So even though it was a smaller state park, it made more money. And they keep going about how they can't spend money on those two parks because, they're losing money. It's like, do you not realize that those two parks are the only two parks in the state that make money every year? They make money. If you take care of them, they'll make more money. No, letting them rot. You wouldn't believe how bad the campsites are now. They wouldn't even let us replace the siding. We had to patch it. They have bathhouses and stuff in the campgrounds. The doors are all rotted on the bottom. You know how they'd fix them? You screw a piece of plywood over the rot. I mean, are you freaking kidding me? We had spare lumber too, all over the place, because they actually take the trees when we have hurricanes and stuff. Connecticut has a mill, a state park mill, where we make our own boards. If a tree falls down in Connecticut State Park, these guys come in with a big truck and they take it up to the mill and they cut it into boards. All of our benches and stuff now are all local state park wood. They're two concrete sides with the boards in it are all either oak or birch or whatever, and they're from the parks. And they're like, give me the lumber and we'll make a door. The lumber's there. Why can't I make it door? No, it's a waste. We'll go get a sheet of plywood. It's just screwed over. It takes too much work. Someone's got to get in a truck, go to Home Depot or Lowe's or whichever one they're contracted with that day, get the plywood, bring it back, cut it, fit it. I can make a freaking whole door in less time for less money with the wood we already got. You don't even have to buy the plywood.
Plywood just rots quick anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it does all right. You paint it and everything, it'll last. I mean, they usually do get T111, so it's made, with exterior glues and stuff. But even that, it's the door's rotted up, say a foot. They'll cut a 2-foot piece and literally just screw it right over the rot. Not even cut out the old rot. Just screw it right over it. Looks like the old kick panels they used to put on state doors. That's what it looks like. Looks like an old kick panel. Stupid.
North of Connecticut.
Just foolish.
Up in the north of Connecticut, we used to go to Penwood State Park.
Penwood, where's that?
It's on the border between Simsbury and Bloomfield.
Oh. I'm trying to remember the name of the biggest state park. It's up north of here. It's right on there. Because it's actually bordered with the Rhode Island State Park there. I can't think of the name now. I'm going to have to go look it up. Just because I need to know now.
Way up in the northeast corner?
Not really northeast. It's right on the edge. I mean, it's just above 95. Because 95 cuts through the Rhode Island one. It's north on Connecticut, and they're diagonally across the border. The Rhode Island one, Big Fern or whatever is the Rhode Island one. No, I can't remember the name of any of them.
Is that the one up by Union, Connecticut?
Yeah, I think it actually is in Union.
I've been to that one. That's a nice park. They got a beautiful swimming lake up there. I had a friend that had a house up in Union. We used to go up there in the summer sometimes.
Hopeville. It's right at, it's just above Norwich and stuff. And it comes across, that's right where 95 comes up in Rhode Island to go up and across the Bay of Rhode Island. And the one in Arcadia is the one in Rhode Island. The Arcadia is huge in Rhode Island. It's a massive state park. I used to ride mountain bike there on occasion with some Rhode Island buddies.
We used to go to Burlingame.
I've only gone there a couple times, but it was huge. I got lost in there for hours, not knowing where the hell I was back, when the whole cell phone thing was just starting with the GPSs. when nobody really knew what the hell they were doing with them, and blah blah blah.
We used to go camping at Burlingame.
Yep, I used to go camping back in the day, and why is my brain totally freaking losing? I can't remember anything.
Well, you ain't getting any younger.
Oh God, Devil's Hop Yard. We used to camp in Hop Yard when the Hop Yard had campgrounds. It doesn't have campgrounds anymore. You're not allowed to camp there anymore. They had a bunch of. They had the moss go through and kill all the whatever maples, I think it was. So you had all the dead trees, and then someone freaking had a campfire and caught fire, and hundreds of dead trees all caught fire, and the whole freaking bark burned down. It was, it was an 80% dead tree. That was all that was up there. That was back, God, the late 70s, early 80s.
When's the last time they had gypsy moths up there?
Well, we still have them. They're not bad. They've kind of thinned out. That was a good thing about the turkeys, is the turkeys ate them.
Must have been some fat turkeys, because them gypsy moths are everywhere when they get going.
Yeah. People don't realize wild turkeys actually do fly.
Oh, yeah. I've seen them going through the woods.
They don't fly. They hop. But you'll find them in the trees and stuff. They'll go 10, 15 feet up into a tree. It's about the highest I've ever seen one. They're not just ground critters.
For what they are, they glide pretty good.
Huh?
For what they are, they glide pretty good when they come out.
Yeah. They get up. They're in the trees a lot when they're trying to get away from something. They'll all hop up into a tree. Problem, that's why they brought the fisher cats in, because the foxes and stuff couldn't get them up in the tree, where the fisher cat will go right up the tree after them. Them things are mean, them little weasels. They are really mean. I don't know if you know what a fisher cat is.
I never saw a picture of one.
It's a weasel. They're actually kind of cute when you see them in the picture. They look like a little cute weasel. They almost look like a cat on the face. Not really, but sort of. That's why they're called fisher cats. But they're weasels. And they are mean. I mean, they are. You get near one of them, they don't run away or back down. They hiss at you and freaking claw at you. And if you come at them, they'll bite you and shit. They will not back down. They are evil little boys.
So the turkey and the deer struck a deal, huh? Hunter comes along and the turkey lets them know it's there?
Yeah.
That's one thing I miss.
Turkey and tree.
The deer are not very big.
Yeah. Actually, I think this is deer year here.
What's a deer year?
Because of the state parks and the population of the deer, and there's no real predator for deer anymore around here. Every 4 years, they let the hunters into the state parks for a month. Thin out the deer population. Otherwise, the deer eat everything that they can eat, and more of them end up dying because they starve themselves out.
Plus, they cause a lot of deer car collisions.
Yeah, it's not so much a problem in the state parks, because most of the state parks that have deer, on back road, kind of, not really where a lot of population are. I mean, the deer are in the road anyways, whether they're in a state park, but where the park's protected. I mean, you can hunt deer all year round here, or not all year round, but every year when you hunt deer, but every 4 years they let you do it in the state park with a special license.
Good morning, Matt.
A lot of the town parks are starting to do it too, to just thin them out a little.
Huh. Turkeys can see orange, but deer can't. That's interesting.
Yeah, deer are colorblind. From what I understand, they only see black and white, if I remember correctly. Not positive, but it's something along those lines.
If they got some damn good ears, though, they can hear you coming.
Yeah. They don't really care around here. I get deer out in the yard all the time. They're so used to me because I go out, I'm outside all the time. They'll like hang right out. If I'm not right in their face or right next to them, they won't even, they'll look up, see who it is, watch me for a bit, but they'll keep eating the bushes and the plants, and they don't run really. Most I've seen them run is my neighbor she's a nurse out back, and I don't know, what was it, 2 days ago, I guess, the police and fire department did the, tribute thing where they drive by and honk their horns and all that from the three counties, East Lyme, Old Lyme, Lyme, Saybrook, all did it. So they were driving by and they'd stop at the end of my driveway because it's a shared driveway, and they'd flash their lights and everything, tribute to her being a nurse and all that. And they drove around town to all the nurses. And anyways, all them sirens going off. It was like 25 minutes. Man, the deer were running from that front yard. There was probably 20 or 30 of them over the course of that 20 minutes that blasted through the yard. There's a lot of deer here, especially where it's all swamp. Deer like the swamp. Yes, the deer will like your salt block. They like salt licks. Someone told me it's actually not good for them. I have no idea.
The dairy farms, they used to put out salt blocks, and the deer would come and take advantage of those.
Yeah. I have enough vegetation around here with the swamp that I don't need to put the salt block out. The deer just come. Getting tired of them, to be honest with you. They do a lot of damage. I like them. I also like eating them. I like venison. I'm not big on shooting them, but if someone else does and cleans it all, I'll cook it.
I like venison and spaghetti sauce.
My neighbor's brother, he actually lived in the basement for a couple of years, rented the basement for my parents. He used to hunt every year. He's a big hunter. He's still a big hunter. But he used to hunt, and then he'd take it up to there's a butcher up the road here that used to, clean them for him. You hang it for a couple of days out in the yard, and then you bring it to the butcher, and he'd clean it all up and make you steaks and skin it all. And, you give him like $50, or a lot of times he'd just take a portion of it. He'd take a quarter of the meat or whatever. Anyway, he used to make these venison sausage patties. They were basically a hamburger, but it was all like spicy and sausagey, and oh my God, were those good. Put them on a grill just like a hamburger. Eat them like a hamburger. But they were so tasty. And he mixed them with pork and all kinds of like herbs and spices, and they were awesome.
Down here, the deer aren't even worth going after. I've seen bigger dogs.
Yeah, well, the Florida deer are small anyways, aren't they?
Very small.
They ain't small around here.
No, I've seen some 200 plus pound bucks take out a car.
Yep. And walk away.
Well, the one I saw, they towed the car and the deer away.
Yeah. I've been hit by a deer. And I don't mean I hit a deer. I've been hit by a deer. I've had deer when you're driving down the road and, you slow down because of the things in the road. Can't tell you how many times you get like a little baby deer in the road. You slow down for it, and the mother thinks you're threatening, and they'll come up and headbutt the frickin' car. Trying to scare you away from the baby. Had that happen more than once.
What we do have down here in abundance is wild hogs.
Yeah, no wild hogs up here. Anyway, we've been going for an hour and a half.
Them hogs can be meaner than the gators.
Yes, that's what I hear. More damaging.
Yeah, they do a lot of damage in the mangroves.
That printer prints really good. I keep thinking I want to get rid of it. Man, the quality out of that thing. Considering it's an old beat up piece of crap, I should really rebuild it one more time, I guess. Even my Core XY does not put out this nice of a print. I mean, it's near perfect.
What
And I
is
don't
the
do anything
machine?
to it. Huh?
What is that machine that's
It
printing?
was a Max Micron.
Never heard of that one.
Yeah. It was a sister company to the old Hick Tops. Remember the Hick Tops?
Yeah, I heard of those.
It was a sister. They were the better quality Hick Top, because that was when they were, when the A8s and all of those were real famous with the acrylic frames and everything. In the beginning of time, that's why I bought that. That was $100 more than an A8, and it was basically the same, but it had the full aluminum frame. They made a folding one of those, that exact same printer, but they took the uprights and they put them on like a hinge, and they had it in a suitcase. They used to sell it in a suitcase, like another $50. You could buy it folding. It would fold right down, and the power supply was where it was, but it would slide in, and you could fold it right down and slide it into a suitcase. But I think if you look, you can still buy it. There's a couple of places you can have a stock of the old Max Micron folding printer.
How much fiddling do you have to do to get the first layer to come out right after you unfolded it?
You don't really unbolt it because it just hinges. The way the uprights are, they're on the side instead of on top, like all the like these are. These are bolted up through, and it sits on top. That sits on the side. So when you folded it, the whole thing just folded down.
Huh.
It literally just rolled down. It was on one big pivot hinge. The only thing I could see wrong with it is, the whole gantry would get wobbly if you get going too fast. Yeah, I paid an extra, I don't know, $75 or $100 for that, because that was a full aluminum 2020 frame. The frame is still the original frame. Pretty much nothing else. Replaced all the motors with bigger, more powerful motors, put longer, taller lead screws on it. But it had actual lead screws. It had a real means well power supply right from the beginning. The board was some no-name board I never heard of, but I still have it. It runs fine. It was actually a good board. It printed really well. It was loud as crap. Screen's original. That's still the original screen. What else? That's about it. Smooth rods are original. Some of the pairings are original. A lot of the cabling's still original. It was actually a pretty well-designed printer for its time. The only downside of it is pretty small. It's they claimed it was a 200 cube. It was never a 200 cube. It does like 190, 190, and 170 height. I don't know how they ever said it was 200, because it would never do 200 height.
I'm waiting for that new Creality belt printer to come out. That looks interesting.
Yeah, I would wait on that.
Well, I don't want one of the first ones. I want to see how they go first.
Yeah. I think the belt printer is really cool, just like I think Deltas are really cool. It's not something I'll ever own. I got no need for it. There's nothing I want to print that needs to be on a belt printer at this time. You never know, in the future I might be like, hey, let's print 8-foot-long swords. But I don't see me doing that anytime soon. It is cool, though. I mean, I really like Carl's belt printer and the way he designed it. I'm sure that's where they stole it from. because the actual original black belt, they can't, copy that for any cheap amount. I mean, Carl's is pretty expensive if you part it out, but the biggest problem I see with his is, one, he used all top of the line everything. Used to duet boards and all that stuff, and he had to buy name brand stuff, where Creality can just make anything they want. And the actual belt, I can't wait to see what they use for a belt, because I think with Carl, that was his biggest expense, was the actual belt itself. Getting a big stainless steel belt and drums and build tack on it, which who knows how Creality uses for a build tack surface.
Yeah, I think it's only 2 or 3 more months, and then things should be hitting the States.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be next month. I thought it was going to be in May.
I heard June.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention. Anyway, how long ago did I change my laundry over? I wonder if it's done yet. It's almost 10. I'm going to put it out, and then I'm going to go cut that big branch / tree up. My little electric chainsaw. People laugh at me when I fire that thing up, and they're like, holy crap. After 2.5 hours, I go about 2.5 hours with that thing without having to change the battery. Now, granted, that's, your chainsaw. You're not just going, you cut a few and then do stuff, and then cut a few and then move stuff around.
A battery chainsaw?
Yeah. Dude, it's awesome. It's not something, if I was a, tree guy, I would not have, although I'd probably still have it for a side one. But if you're using it all day, every day, it's not something you want. For someone like me, where I use it for like a week and then it sits in the garage for 6 months, it's way better.
Carburetor never jams up.
Yeah, well, that's just it. There's no upkeep. I sharpen the chain once a year. And actually, I don't even bother sharpening anymore because it's only like $8 for a new chain for it. So I just buy a new chain. I've got like 4 chains out there. I sharpen them all at the same time. I've got 3 of them now. They keep warrantying it, and the warranty on it is replace the whole thing. They have the only thing wrong with it is the actual motor connector with the gear that drives the actual chain. There's a little spring clip that holds that on, the actual gear on, and that spring clip keeps coming off if you even slightly jam it. And I call them up, and it's like, I need a new spring clip. They're like, okay. And all of a sudden I get in the mail a whole new freaking chainsaw.
Huh.
They don't even, it's like, I got like 3 or 4 of them. I got one that the trigger went on it, cut me a whole new chainsaw. They keep warrantying the damn thing. Can't complain about that. I mean, it is not professional grade. Don't get me wrong. In no way is it a professional grade chainsaw. For a simple homeowner with a big yard and you're going to cut branches with it, I love the thing. I cleared all behind my garage with it. I love the thing. Again, if I was cutting trees down, if I had, 100 acres or a tree farm, or, if I was a tree service, I probably wouldn't have, although I'd still probably have one. Like I said, there's a tree guy comes up here because he dumps wood for her. She burns wood out back. So he gives it, if he's got no place to put it, he'll bring it out and give it to her just to get rid of it because he gets so much. It's, we grew up with a friend of ours that does a tree service, lives right down the street. And he's always going back there. And he was watching me work with that. And he's like, I might get me a couple of those for just going up in the bucket because it's, it's easy. When he's limbing like along power lines or something, it's way easier than you just pull the trigger and it goes. It never has an issue. The only service I've ever had to do with it is put chain oil in it. That's it. Charge the batteries. And that was his biggest thing. He's like, oh, what do they last? 15 minutes? I'm like, no, I get like a couple hours out of this thing. Again, when I say a couple hours, it's, I'm not running it constantly for 2 hours. But I get a couple hours of working in the yard, cleaning up. And I just use it for, drop trees or drop branches or, I've been using it out here to clear, 1-inch scrub brush crap. I have everything. When I started getting that stuff, I went all cordless. My lawnmower is cordless. Had that almost 10 years. It runs on the same batteries, all 40-volt batteries. I have a weed whacker now that I have been clearing the property with. I put a blade on it, and I'm clearing the property with it, cutting all the brush and everything. And I figured I would have killed it by now. That's 5 or 6 years old. Runs like a top. The only thing I do to that is twice a year I take the lower head apart and I re-lube it.
What's a cord going for up there now?
No gas, no issues, no power or anything. You plug the freaking battery in, it runs. I've got so many batteries now, although I will say some of the batteries, I just tossed 2 batteries because they're getting to the point where they won't even charge. I plug them into the charger and the charger just starts blinking red and saying nope, won't charge. I got like 6 chargers. And I've noticed some of them will charge on some chargers and not on the others. And, they're getting old, but some of these batteries are 10 years old now. I've had that lawnmower for almost 10 years. I bought it from my father because it's way lighter than gas. Like way lighter. The lawnmower is just amazingly light. I couldn't believe how light it was, even with the 2 batteries. And it takes 2 40-volt batteries. And it just works. You put the batteries in, turn it on. Again, the only thing I do to that is, after I get done using it, I flip it over, take the batteries out, and I hit it with a garden hose. That's it. Sharpen the blades every once in a while. Because a lawnmower takes 2, it's a 20-inch, but it takes 2 little 10-inch blades. It's got 2 motors. And it goes, I can mow my 1.5 acre lawn with 2 batteries. And it takes 2 batteries.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, my lawn is not the thickest, greenest. It's more moss than it is lawn. So if you had a real lawn, it probably wouldn't last that long. But I got a couple of friends that were kind of against it, and they saw me with it, and they went out and bought one, and they're like, you know what? For what we use it for, like for your lawn, what do you have, a half an acre or a third of an acre?
Not even.
Why even bother starting up a gas lawnmower when you can do it with an electric one? It's a little more expensive. I mean, a good gas lawnmower is a couple $100, if not more, and a decent electric one's $350 to $400. But in 2 years' time of not having to deal with gas, not having to deal with spark plugs, not having to clean it, not having to deal with it, I'm going to freaking pull your shoulder out trying to pull it. It pays for itself. Mine is more than paid for itself. It could die tomorrow, and I'd be like, okay, I'll get another one. I have absolutely no problems with that, with buying it. I'm literally expecting it to die this year. It's getting kind of tired.
I got a Cub Cadet 0-turn because I can't walk very far.
Jesus, what do you need that for?
Because I'm done with the lawn in 15 minutes.
I was going to say, it takes you longer to get the thing started and get it out into the yard than it does to actually mow, doesn't it?
I got to
let it warm up.
I drive it in and out. It's electric start.
Yeah. My problem with those is it always takes me longer to get it out of the garage because I have to get all the crap stacked around it out of the way.
Yeah, I got to
push mow this. We bought my father a rider mower. It sat out in the shed. I think he used it a half a dozen times. It's just too much of a pain in the ass here. Even though we have the property for it, it's not level and it's too many potholes and it was just a pain in the butt. He always push mowed it. We used the lawnmower more for a little trailer to move stuff around in the yard than we ever did for actually mowing. I should see if that thing still starts. That's what it said. I forgot that was down in the shed. Gotta go gut the shed and see what's down there.
The carburetor's all jammed up. Get some steam home.
Oh, it's beyond carburetor because the last time I looked at it, which was like 2-3 years ago, it's literally been 2 or 3 years since anyone's even looked at that thing, and it was full of squirrels' nests. So it's got more issues than just the carburetor, but that's easy. I've fixed worse than that. The people around here all the time are throwing out like lawnmowers. I used to grab them at the dump. You know, someone would be like throwing it out because they just leave them by the metal pile. I'd be like, "What's wrong with it?" "Oh, it just won't start." And, you know, taking it to the service guy is more expensive. It costs you $200 to get the guy to get it running again. And you can buy a new one for $250. You know, why bother? So I take them home. People don't realize the ethanol gas from the thing sitting there clogs the carburetor. All you do is drain the fuel, put new fuel in it, squirt some rubbing alcohol into the carburetor and into the fuel bowl, pull it a few times, let it sit overnight, and it'll start right up the next day. The rubbing alcohol, if you use 90% rubbing alcohol, dissolves the ethanol.
They'll hit a rock or a stump or something with it, and it'll snap the key between the flywheel and the ignition. Just take the top off, pull the flywheel off, drop in a new key, and off.
Yeah, that happens all the time. You don't have to worry about that with the electric either because it's a nylon, like it's not even a key, it's a little like over clip. I got a couple of those too, and they're like $4 for a box of 10 of them. And if it hits anything, it just snaps that nylon little clip off. And the blades are only, I think I hit the blades for like $9 for a set of blades for that electric one. Again, they're only little 10-inch blades. And I hit them with the grinder to sharpen them and put them on the balancer. Make sure they're balanced. That's the one thing with the electric. You do have to be that electric's more sensitive to the blade being balanced with the lawnmowers than a regular gas one is. The blade's out of balance, the whole thing will start vibrating and wobbling. The whole unit's light. I mean, that lawnmower is, I'd be surprised if that thing's 3 to 5 pounds. It's probably like 3 pounds. It's super light.
Did you ever use a fly mow?
A what?
A fly.
You keep breaking up.
Did you ever use a fly mow?
Never even heard of a fly mow.
It was a 2-stroke with no wheels. It was like a hovercraft.
No.
Those things were great.
I used to use the old rotary. I think they work better than a regular gas mower. They're just a pain in the ass to push.
And fun to sharpen.
Yeah, they're hard to keep sharp. They work good when they're new, but once they get old, and if you don't sharpen it right, it don't work no more.
Yeah, the hovering mower, the fly mower was great. I had a lot of slopes that led down to water, and you could get up at the top and you could just swing the thing from side to side and walk down the hill. You could cut a 10-foot swath, and then when you got to the water, it would go right out on top of the water and cut the grass that's growing up through the water.
Yeah, no, I've never seen one.
They were 2-stroke, very lightweight.
Anyway, I think my laundry's done. So I think I'm going to kill it and go put the next load out and go cut up some branches and work in the yard for an hour.
Well, it's been nice chatting with everybody. Hope you all have a good day.
Yeah, the real mowers aren't bad either. I mean, it's just a big weed whacker is all it really is. I've been seeing those. They don't cut clean, though, especially when you got scrub grass like I have. I don't actually have a lawn. Most of my lawn is freaking moss.
Moss is great.
Goat.
It's
Yeah,
great.
my old boss got a goat and sheep. Use them to mow lawns. When I was in high school, I used to mow a lawn for this big rich dude that had this like 50-acre farm / waterfront property. And he used to pay us every day. You literally go after school every day and work for like 2 hours and mow the lawn. And by the time you finished at the end of the week, you had to start over. And when I got out of high school, he just got a goat or goats. Anyway, I'm going to kill it. It's been fun. It's been real. Have a great day, guys.
See you
I
down
will
the trail.
see you whenever I decide to do it again.